Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. We are bringing you some Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 4 action. They've got some spoiler pilot key sanity with Roach of the Immortals being piloted by James FNX and Asder of Shaktool's Digging Game being piloted by Aussie. Calling this race today, I'm Reg. I'm joined by Tracy. Tracy, we're wrapping up the spoiler pilot key sanity week. We've seen a lot so far. What's your take on the mode?
I like the mode. I like the fact that you have. First of all, I like anything that involves multiple teammates. I also like that you have some, unlike the co-op races, you have two players doing two different things. You get one person running and one person parsing the spoiler log. I think it's actually harder on the person reading the spoiler log, to be honest. The runner, has to make some decisions to some extent, but does get to, be told where to go and what to do to some extent. So I enjoy this mode. The one bad thing about this mode is you're not going to see as many upsets. So we got this is kind of a mismatch, unfortunately. Asder and Aussie, two of the best. Aussie, in fact, won the spoiler tournament in 2020. Asder did it well as well. And I think it's gonna be a fun race to watch. It's always fun to see how these spoilers come out, but it's definitely gonna be a tough one for the Immortals.
Yeah, and I do think that the difference in league score kind of shows that, but still hoping to see them bust out something, see what they can do, see if they can pull something out here. And we do see Roach starting with a Houlihan play here. Fairly common opener just to get some cash under your belt while you wait for the pilot to go.
Oh, nice bush crap. Yeah, there's two reasons to do it. One, either James has said, "Oh my God, we need Zora money. Go to Houlihan," or it might just be the opener giving, like you say, giving your pilot time to figure things out.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that in the spoiler format, consumables are at a premium in the early game, rupees especially.
I would say it's in all the game because, you're not opening all those junk chests for the extra arrows, the extra bombs, the extra money. That kind of adds up after a while and you don't really notice it. Ooh, a book in the flooded item. So a nice soggy book. So we're going to need that for something, I suspect.
Yeah, we do see on our tracker down there that we do have a crystal at Desert Palace. Book is the vanilla intended entry to that.
Yep.
The other thing is, I do believe that the bush crabs are in the spoiler log.
Yes, they are. Bush crab, tree pulls. Actually, I think even like the rarely seen toss of fish into the water is in the spoiler log.
Yeah, so that's actually, I think that's probably speaks really good to Aussie going and checking that and noting that Asder could use that right away.
Yep. To
get the bombs, steal the mini Motorworms. And I think that was, 2 pod keys and a desert key?
Yeah, 2 pod keys and a desert small, yeah. Desert is a crystal, pod is a pendant, so probably not going to need all 6 pod keys, but looks like we're going to need some.
Yeah, and pod small keys, like consumables, you can never have too many of them.
Yeah, I mean, 2 will get you a lot, mostly in logic even, a few things out of logic as well. But of course, you need 4 to full clear the dungeon in a very annoying sort of way. 5 is usually ideal because you save one with the hammer jump. And then, of course, 6 is logical for many of the locations. But, when you're doing spoiler, you can skip all the bad spots. You can just go to the one you need.
Yeah. And then with it being a pendant especially, often not going to see all 6 because some will be in really silly locations. But
yep. Absolutely.
Got some boots in the well.
Yeah, early boots is nice, so the runners will have those for most of the game. Also, I can tell that there's a lot of Aussie telling Asder, grab everything in location because he's opening all the chests, and some of the chests don't have things he actually needs. But, you don't want to miss the thing you do need, so, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and just communication-wise, it's easier to just say, take the extra 3 seconds to grab everything, and have the consumables that you might need, instead of just get this chest, while trying to read a log.
Also, boots important. Lead to a moon pearl, so yeah, you definitely want that.
Yeah, and then there was also a glove in the well that Asder's about to pick up too, so close to having the seed wide open for the Dark World.
Yep, there's that glove. No sword yet. Okay, so I guess either haven't seen that moon pearl, or maybe this also could be a quick one of those. Oh, whoop! Did you get the moon pearl? No, didn't get the moon pearl. Not gonna get it yet. I mean, he'll have to get it eventually because you're not getting very far in the Dark World without it.
No, but it is gonna go to the castle first, skipping the uncle, going straight down into the dungeon.
Okay, so he's got 10 bombs, so that's, that's plenty if you want to go all the way down. You might just be going to the first chest. We'll see.
Yeah, early on, like, chances of there actually being something in the cell, not that great, just as an individual check. But we do see practice bomb strats there. I wasn't sure
nice
that was going to work.
Strats. Yeah.
But
I don't think I've seen that one before. That was pretty cool.
yeah, it looked to me like the second one exploded too soon, but no, that was perfect.
And Roach gonna pick up his Saki book.
I was kind of wondering if Roach would take the book straight to Desert after Azure didn't, but it looks more like it's just a needed for later sort of thing, rather than...
Nice magnet drop. Oh boy. You have to be careful now. You get through this one guard and you're fine. Don't really need that compass.
I think he's good, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
He's good now.
Yeah, and then once you get to the bottom, you have to avoid the green guard, but I doubt Dark Cross is happening right now. So I'm gonna assume that he'll kill he'll go past the guard, grab the pots, get the hearts, use the pots to kill the ball and chain guard.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
So one thing, another difference, and we haven't talked about this yet, but it should be mentioned, of this mode is the runners and the pilots can actually watch each other. They can watch the restream. They can be in chat. I think for the most part, I think that most people just kind of watch it, just kind of see where their opponent is. But you can do more than that. I've seen pilots in chat. That's something I'd be able to do though if I were a pilot, or certainly if I were, even more so if I were a runner.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's much closer to conventional speedruns.
Yes.
Like with, say, a Mario 64 speedrun or something, or even a vanilla Link to the Past speedrun. You can, when you're racing, you can check your opponent's stream, you can check the restream, listen to the comms, whatever you want, because you don't get any real advantage out of doing so. And it's the same thing here, because the spoiler log is available. All the information's out there.
As you're showing us a bush crab we don't see very often, but wants to have those bombs because he has no other weapons. Also, I started to think he was going to check the ledge, but he has no reason to. So you can just tell him what's there.
Yep. And with big key, small key in hand, is going to go in. Has the boots, does not have a fire source, so can't clear the dungeon unless there's one in here.
Yeah, and this is not, I mean, his loadout for he has no weapons. Bomb landmo is not something anyone wants to do. And I guess if he had like a fire rod, he could light the torches, but then, have just enough shots to kill the landmo so you wouldn't be able to miss, so.
But that's actually, if the fire rod is in here, that actually would turn out to be a big credit to Roach's routing, James piloting there. Because they pulled the half magic off the hobo that Azur's just not on.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they just skipped that. That's a pretty out-of-the-way check, and he really doesn't need it. But it's definitely a nice extra safety. And we see an ether. So it looks like, yeah, we need ether and bombos, so there you go. That's why we pulled ether and bombos. And we have 50 rupees here, so I guess there's going to be... Yeah, you're just going to need pod money, so it's a good place to get your 50. 3 more rupees, look at that.
Yeah, pod money, digging game, chest game. Still a fair few ways to spend cash here, even if King's Aura not required.
Yeah, that one we know we're going to have, because you're not picking up pod smalls if there's nothing in pod. Ooh, mitts. Vanilla gloves, actually.
Very nice. And that's our Dark World access between the two runners.
It sure is. Azure needs to go remember to get his Moon Pearl. Or he's gonna get something in King's Tomb first.
Yeah, it could be like King's Tomb and then something in the back of the sewers here.
Yeah, that's a good one as well. Roach looks like he's gonna head over to get his What did we even get down? Oh, a lamp. What did we even get down here? I forget.
The Desert Big Key that's blocking
the Desert Big
gloves.
Key. There we go. Yeah, pretty important thing. Okay, Azure, go get your Moon Pearl.
And chat having a fun little time saying the Hyrule Castle small key blocks that Desert Palace big key logically. Which
it does logically, that is correct.
But who cares?
Yep.
I mean, nothing against chat, because that is, when you're playing a non-spoiler format, a very interesting logical consideration.
It is.
But
yeah, in Key Sandy mode, absolutely.
Yeah, but we have the spoiler, so it's kinda... We can ignore that piece of logic. Like, we could probably ignore that lamp that Azure picked up if the fire rod were available without it.
Yep, exactly. See, what are our dungeon? Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, Eastern. Okay, so I think personally to me the worst dark room, if you don't have a fire rod, for instance, is Dark Turtles in Pod. I don't think we're doing Dark Turtles in Pod, or even Lamp Turtles in Pod. But if you have fire rod, that's not too bad. Mire is also up there in terms of hard. I found that was the hardest to learn. But it's a pretty convenient place for the lamp. It's not in a bad enough spot that you skip it, even with fire rod available, I think.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It is a little bit out of the way, but it does add a lot of consistency to Mire, a little bit to Eastern Palace.
Yep.
And honestly, a little bit to Turtle Rock, too, despite that one being on rails.
Yeah, that one is... I like to joke that I actually go faster without the lamp because I don't take the safety island. But yeah, I mean, definitely it is nice not to have to worry about the timing on that one. And a mushroom. There's something behind the mushroom, it looks like. There we go. There's that big key for Roach.
Yeah, playing 3 hearts in the Dark World, trying to dodge around those enemies with no weapon, not very fun.
No, not at all. And this room, it's a terrible room, and you have nothing to kill anything with except bombs, so you're not killing those Gibdos. I mean, Azure knows the NMG strats, but usually in the NMG strat, you have a sword. And you walk in and you kill the, and now you get killed. Now you kill the jellies, and it's not so bad, but you can't do that. Can't quite use those strats here.
The good news is that if he doesn't kill anything, the Wallmaster doesn't spawn.
I didn't know that. Oh, I just learned something. Okay, this looks good.
Something, too many sprites.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's nice to have something bad get despawned instead of like arrows in GT Climb in the second room. See, there's our sword. There we go.
Yep. No fire rod means we're not taking that to the back right away, though.
We are not.
But it is a nice little buff to the boots.
I wonder if he's going to turn in that mushroom right away.
Looking like it, unless he's going to go kill Landmos with that sword. But nope. Nice bonk, sets up your fake flippers, and you're off to the whirlpool.
Fighter Sword Lammo is... I mean, it's very doable. There's no reason to do it now. Absolutely no reason to do it now.
Right. Like, we see Swamp Palace being a crystal, which means we're going to need to find the mirror at some point. Mire being a crystal means we're going to find the flute at some point. So just backdoor it when you go do Mire.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, mushroom spot. What do we got? Yep, that's kind of important.
Yeah, we're not winning the game without that one.
Not with Swamp A Crystal. Also, I mean, I don't know Roach's hovering capabilities. I know Azure's hovering capabilities are just enough to do it after multiple tries in Moldorm 2 if he absolutely had to. So in a spoiler, you're just going to get the hook shot. But in this case, Swamp's a crystal, so it's irrelevant. Have to get it. Ah, money, money, money. What do we use? Is it Zora? Maybe. Maybe. Stay tuned. We'll find out.
If it's not Zora, then Azur's set for the rest of the game on money.
Yes, he really is. He's going. Okay, we're gonna go rescue the old man.
Yeah, without the flute, this is the only way for these runners to get to the mountain. And I mean, mitts plus hookshot means that you can get everything up here except whatever's on top of Spectacle Rock, whatever's in Tower of Hera, and the Ether Tablet.
And if Hera has nothing, you just do it before GT anyway. So like that not being available to us right now, not an issue. Dead Rock's doing a heart of damage and only having 3 hearts, that is an issue. And also being doorstops.
Yep. Very wonderful enemy. It's a very creative and intelligent person put them into the game, I'm sure.
Yeah, someone that I think most Link to the Past runners would like to have a word with. Ooh, very nice in the Waffle House drive-through there.
Almost got blocked by that one Dead Rock, but hookshotted out of the way and was able to get through the rest no problem.
And Roach saying, yeah, getting a heart. That's a pretty convenient cart container. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point Azure stops and picks that up, but we'll see. He might not ever go to this area because Thieves Town dependent.
Yeah, but that is the first heart container either runner has gotten this season.
That's right.
15 minutes in.
Okay, and there's a flute and a small key of Turtle Rock. We'll need at least 3 small keys to Turtle Rock, so long as we don't have to go to the lava chest. If we have to go to the lava chest, then we'll need the 4th TR small key. Logically, of course, we need all 4, but we ignore that all the time.
Yeah, just don't muscle memory yourself into the lava chest when you don't need to. That was a nice little bow.
I have done that. I've done both of those. So the you're not going to be a key sandy thing a spoiler thing so much, but I've done both the oops, I opened the door and went to the lava chest when I shouldn't. But I've also done the worst thing, which is the oops, I didn't go there when the big key was there.
Yeah, both of those, very frustrating.
Yep. Okay, Roach doing his Skullwoods.
Yeah, gonna get that sword, probably. Did take a death, but is right back. I think that death.
I think it was a death warp. Yeah, I think it was a death warp. And also we'll have to do this room with no way to kill the Gibdos, which is the really bad part. It's like you could use the Bombos and you can use the Ether if you just had a sword, but the sword is behind this. Hey, what did we just get at Spiral Cave? I missed it.
A hammer.
Oh, that's kind of important. Okay, we're going to do Dark Death Mountain now.
Yeah, Death Mountain was absolutely loaded so far between the hammer, the flute, the bow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's still obviously more to come on Dark Mountain if we're here, so very good for Azure to get all this.
Yeah, absolutely. And Roach still having trouble with this room. This room is no joke. It is among the candidates for like an NMG run to be the quote unquote worst room in the game for this game. It is definitely up there, and just not even having a sword, just oof. So Roach having trouble with this. Azure had trouble with it. Like this, not a surprise.
Roach is in a very.
Oh no!
What do you even do there?
No!
That's just not fair. What do you even do there?
Yeah. If you have, I think, did the gift just do 2 hearts of damage? I want to say they do.
Yes.
So yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do. He's gonna do something else. He's gonna go maybe get some extra safeties or maybe get something else. Because he can do all this Death Mountain stuff that Azure's doing right now without a sword. It just kind of sucks to not have a sword when you have boots.
Yeah, he's gonna turn in that shroom and then probably go straight up the mountain.
Now, we need to see where our next sword is. So we had to turn the mushroom in. It looks like we have to turn the shovel in.
Yeah, and that was what? Was that in Hookshot Cave?
Yes. I believe so. It was definitely Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. And then there were a couple of keys on Dark Mountain. Mire Small, I think I saw Skullwood Small as well, that are not required, but convenient. There's that mirror.
Yep, that's an important thing. Again, need it for Swamp Palace. Want it for Desert.
Yep, so for Desert, we're all good. Aster can go back and do that literally whenever he wants now. For Swamp, we still need the flippers and the small key, though.
Yeah, the Swamp Small Key and a non-spoiler Key Sandy, one of the worst items to have to find. Ah, Sick Kid has something for us. He has a big key. He has a Mire big key. That is a required big key.
Yeah, Skullwood Swamp, the only not required crystal big keys that we're gonna need.
Not logically.
I say that
yeah.
we're gonna need.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
not
because
gonna
Ice
need.
Palace is a pendant. And Hera, I mean, logically you need the big key. And sometimes you actually hard require it, but we've already got the hook shot, so we can Hera pot.
Yeah, Herapod is a thing, that's true.
And especially good in spoiler.
Yep, because if you see like that Hera big key is like on Cold Stare in the back of Pendant Thieves Town with nothing else there, skip it. Herapod.
Yeah, and as you're buying a small key to Ice for convenience, I wonder if the cane is in Ice Palace, because Icebreaker, if you don't have a small key, Icebreaker just becomes much better with that small key already available. I mean, he has Hammer, so he can get the items, but it's nice to not have to pick up the extra small key if you already have it. And he had the extra money. I'm guessing Zora is not the money he'll be spending, so...
Yeah, probably not, but Ice Palace, small key, probably the single most convenient, not hard required key in the game. But I do think a Mire Small is close second.
The Skullwood Small, in certain situations. So you can go straight to the boss without stealing the key, or B, do the front part again without stealing the key.
Yeah, it's basically all three of those. Having one small key is rather convenient.
Yep.
I do think Skullwoods is about half a step behind the other two, but it's still quite nice.
And until you play Cross Keys and you go into Skullwoods and say, oh yeah, I can finish this. Wait, I haven't been to the other part of Skullwoods and I have no small keys. And then you really miss it. There's our third Turtle Rock small key. That'll probably be our last one. So are we going to have a Smith item, or are we going to have a Purple Chest item?
Why not both?
Could be both. For those of you who don't know, if he turns in the Smith, the Purple Chest will show up, even if he doesn't pick up the item. He's walking back in. We're getting something. Oh, nice convenient blue mail, which for Azure, since he's going with hat color, Parallel Worlds Link, is yellow. I told him he needs to get red mail because the purple actually looks really cool, and I'm not a fan of the yellow. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Looks like there's nothing on Purple Chest here, and just grabbing that Smith because it was on the way to Hammer Pegs, which is required.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, that blue mail, the difference between green and blue is very significant. Going from blue to red, not really that significant, other than I like purple and not yellow.
Yeah, red mail's nice, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah, the difference is definitely not the same
this-
difference.
Right. Grabbing the blue there, very respectable from Astra.
And we have all 4 Turtle Rock small keys, which makes me wonder if there's something in Lava Chest.
Yeah, seems probable, especially considering that Hammer Peg's key was Turtle Rock as well.
Yep.
Could have skipped that entirely if he wanted to, but it's there. Ice Rod's also there.
Yep. Hype Cave immediately gets 10 out of 10 for me if I see an Ice Rod. Powder, super nice safety. I don't know, maybe something on the bat, but Powder is my favorite safety, so I like to see it when people get it.
Yeah, Powder is great. I love the presence of mind needed to fake Powder as a safety, but real Powder does the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, also really fun every once in a while when you see fake real Powder because they run out of magic.
Yeah, that takes the cake right there.
As you're forgetting, he hasn't picked up his flippers yet. Goes to the NMG strat for the fake flippers. You know we won't see the flippers here, though.
Yep. Not going for the fake flipper to Zora's domain area play that we saw from Roach earlier.
Yeah, he might do that after. No, he can't do that after from here. I guess you can splash delete.
He could splash delete, or he could just
flute. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's the right call. The flute back to 8 makes a lot of sense. I wonder where the fire rod is that he's doing ice with Bombos here. Bombos and fighter sword is no joke.
On one hand, yeah. On the other, it is pendant ice, so not have to kill cold stare.
Yeah, really good point. Probably just need an item real quick, and it's not in the pen gator room. That's another one of those rooms that it's very easy to forget that you're in go mode and you go into the automatic mode of killing the pen gators. Oh my god, please.
Hookshot doing hookshot things.
Yeah, hookshot's my favorite item for a reason.
But I am looking over the tracker here just at what we're still missing. We do see Roach picked up a Skull Woods Big Key and Hype Cave that Astor didn't get. But as far as items go, it's Fire Rod, which we know we cannot find in Ice Palace, and yes, Cane. So 2 potential items we could find in this dungeon.
And flippers, which will not be in this dungeon.
Yeah. And then as far as keys go, it's really just Eastern Palace and Ganon's Tower big keys. Yep. We've got all the other keys we need to clear the game.
And it looks like Roach is going to do the pod play first. Interesting to see what's over here. I gotta believe that we're going to find either a Cane of Samaria here. Oh boy. This is when the bomb jump gets a little scary. Actually, why is he even doing the bomb jump unless he's going to defeat the boss? I think he's just figured that out.
I think he also realized he doesn't have the health to do the bomb jump.
Yep.
He does have a fairy, so he would have blown that if he tried.
Yeah, and that fairy is, of course, for the sick kid check. Okay, there's a heart.
And on Roach's side here, welcome to Palace of Darkness.
We get to find out.
Reminding me, Astor has blue mail. He would not have instantly died attempting the bomb jump. Only if
he would have half. Yeah, if he failed it, absolutely. Okay, we're back down to 1 heart. Meanwhile, we get to see what's in pod, and Roach having also grabbed 2 small keys. It's an extra bottle. See, there's a fire rod. Not a surprise to see the fire rod there, having gone in with Bombos.
It is continuing on though, so something else in here.
I'm feeling a cane.
Yeah, probably, especially with the fire rod being where it was. Cane being in here would make a lot of sense. Or Cane being behind fire rod, one of the two.
Or being behind whatever this other thing is. And that's the fairy.
That is the fairy. Yeah, there's a reason boots are probably low-key one of the best items to have in Ice Palace. Mm-hmm. They make the ice physics so much more navigable.
See? Called it.
Yep.
I mean, the fact that you go in without the cane just screams that there's a cane in there. And cane and fire rod. So, man, in a non-spoiler mode, it might take a while for anyone to get over there to get that cane and to get that fire rod, because those are 2 items that you don't want to go into ice without.
Yeah, but today, you kinda had to.
Are we going to Turtle Rock? I think we're going to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, if it's not Turtle Rock, it's Meyer, which Astor can't actually get into. Has not picked up either yet.
I'm surprised. I am really surprised. Well, I guess if you're just fluting to 8, doing it with ice actually doesn't pair. Like, you feel like it does because you're just right there, but it actually really doesn't, because you can flute there from anywhere. So if
Yeah,
he had
I guess.
flippers, it would have made more sense. But he hasn't gotten those flippers yet. And maybe the flippers are in here.
Yeah, and we do need those flippers to get into Swamp. We need that, we need an Eastern Palace big key, and we need a Ganon's Tower big key.
Roach still without the sword. What did he pick? Did he pick up some keys in Pod? I was too busy watching the possible...
The only thing I saw him pick up in Pod was the Cane of Burna, actually, so...
that's interesting. Could be Spike Cave.
Yeah, I was looking at Asder's Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bottle as well. Not the same bottle that Asder got, but does enable him to get that sick kid check all the same.
Yeah, and not surprisingly, not going to the... Like, if flippers is the thing that's here, you're not going to need that fire rod to go over to the right side. And flippers being here would make a lot of sense because it could be a logical double dip to go get those flippers. Oh boy, chain chomps. Yeah, we don't have a fairy anymore. Fortunately, we do have powder. Ah, second sword, nice.
Yeah, we do have powder, and this dungeon is loaded with anti-fairies.
Yep. Like here, and even more so Meyer, because Meyer has so few heart pots. Just having that powder is so good. Oh, and somewhere Roach got blue mail, and he's gonna end up with red mail when he turns in that smith.
That was probably in Pod 2 that I...
That would be my guess. But yeah, I mean, if the flippers are here, then you get to avoid the dungeon double dip. And okay, Azure says, no, I don't need to go there. I guess Lava Chest doesn't have a thing.
Yeah. If he wanted the blue mail, then all 4 keys were directly in his route. No reason not to grab them.
Yep. Nice, convenient 2 hearts. Okay, Mimic Cave is a thing, or possibly the big chest, one or the other, or both.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat suggesting the 4th key may have been specifically to skip the Poke Key, and then almost didn't skip the Poke Key.
Yeah, I do think that getting that key off either Hammer Pegs or Stumpy probably faster than the Pokey, actually, considering the auto-scroller nature of those rooms.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But when you're going halfway there anyways,
You gotta lose some of that gain. Small key to Hera, that's an interesting one.
I mean, you say interesting, but there's really only one place it could possibly go, so it's...
Of course. So
kind of
interesting,
annoying.
yeah, interesting in the sense that Hera Basement has something which, kind of sucks. Big key to GT, that's an important one.
Yep, it does mean that we are down even fewer items to find now.
Still need a Swamp Small. I think we didn't mention that one, and the Eastern Big.
Yeah, I've been neglecting that Swamp Key for a little while.
Yep, and flippers. That's pretty good. Okay, Roach gonna finally get this sword, it looks like. With the red mail, that helps a lot. Makes a huge difference in that room. Because now, if he'd been in that room with the 2 hearts, with the red mail, he could just taken the damage from the Gibdo and been just fine.
Yeah. Another big thing in there was he had the Ice Rod to freeze the Gibdo with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so more weapons and better weapons. Well, yeah, just weapons. I say more weapons, but he had bombs the last time in, so...
Yeah, so just having literally anything at all that he could use helped.
Alright, Azur's in for a not fun try next fight, but, I mean, he's done the 3-heart green mail version of this with Master Sword, so... Knows what he's doing, but still super dangerous. Okay, good first head.
Yeah, good counting there to get both Master Sword and Hammer hits and still get it exactly right.
Yep. Let's switch to the hammer here. Avoids the big hit. Gonna go for the double hit here with the Master Sword spin. And then probably gonna finish him off with hammer. And there we go.
Very well done.
Roach, in the meantime, gonna get his goodies from Ice Palace.
Yeah, a lot of value in Ice Palace here. Little less value in Turtle Rock on Asher's side, but that gain in Sour Big Key, always a big prize.
Yeah. So no flippers, but so a little surprised. I think you could have waited till the end to do this, but does get the Master Sword out of it, so that's super nice.
That Mimic Cave Harris small key.
Okay, good point.
I skipped
Which he's
over
going to
mentioning that
right
earlier.
now. Yeah. It's got to be something he needs. Maybe that's the flippers. We're gonna find out because he's heading right over.
Could be the flippers, could be the Eastern Big Key, which leads to the flippers. Or it could be some silly fetch quest like the Thief's Town Big Key.
Ooh, gross. That would be really gross.
Also, chat pointing it out here, but Turtle Rock was the first crystal from either runner this season.
Yeah, that's pretty. A, that it's. I mean, it's Key Sandy, so like that's not super unusual. But A, it's that it's Turtle Rock, and B, that it's 30 some odd minutes in. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Asher's going for. Well, I thought he switched to the Fire Rod because he was going to do exactly that. Just took a few seconds to actually get there.
Yeah, this copyright doesn't really save time, but it does let you take literally a break because the tiles won't hit you.
Yep. Lets the runner just calm down, collect their nerves a bit. Lets the pilot get ahead of what's left of the rest of the route and optimize it. Good room.
Big key to Eastern. That's kind of important too.
Yep. And then gonna go ahead and use Harapot to clear out the dungeon while we're here.
Yeah, at this point you're already here. There's no reason not to do it. It'll save the extra mirroring when you come up here for GT later, so.
I know he had the right position for the bomb because the bonk puts you in that position.
Yep.
But the rest, it's a bit harder to judge.
I think that looks good.
Yep, perfect.
Right. The problem is I use the same strat. I eyeball it by the menu on the chest, and the pixel right before is really similar to the pixel when you get it right on, so it does make it a little more difficult.
Yeah, I use that setup as well, and I do find it to be fairly reliable, but not 100% perfect.
Yeah. I thought there was a poke in there, but he cleans it up anyway.
Yeah. I was going to compliment his use of the hookshot iframes to get a position in there, but I'm pretty sure that's what led to the poke to begin with, so... And yeah, all of a sudden we go from 0 crystals to 2 crystals. Pretty good.
Ooh, something on Ether Tablet.
Yeah, we did grab that book. Actually, that was the first item Asher grabbed this seed.
Nope, just a heart container. But, 5 hearts. A little bit nicer.
Yeah, we're still at the stage where every heart you gain is a significant improvement over what you had before.
Okay. Asher has not gotten Ether. He's going to realize that if he decides to go into Mire in just a second. I'm going to do Desert first, though.
I'm going to do Checkerboard Cave first.
Do Checkerboard Cave first. And get his flippers! Yay, we have flippers now. So maybe he wanted to not fake flipper it. You know, not a big deal.
Yeah, whatever works.
Because you can just flute from here, get your flippers, go flipper over to your ether.
Yeah, and now the only thing we are missing this seed is that Swamp Palace small key. Which I will remind everybody, the runners know exactly where that key is. Tracy and I have not opened the spoiler log, we do not.
Yep. I like to open the spoiler log at the end, so we can find out where all the things they skipped, like where that last sword is, where the silvers are, that kind of thing, if the runners don't pick them up. But we're a long way from that, so. And we're just going to go ahead and do Eastern right now. Looks like Roach may be doing, well, yeah, he might be doing Mire Desert right now. At this point, I'm not sure there's a huge difference what order you do things in. That Swamp Small, wherever it shows up, is just going to be there for you whenever. And I'm guessing there's nothing in Swamp, so you're not going to get any faster unless you get another sword.
Yeah, extra sword or the silver arrows are the only thing that could really be in Swamp. Yep. And if either of those are left side, then they're getting skipped.
They are absolutely getting skipped. Extra heart container.
Suddenly Azur's at 7.
7's pretty good. 7 on blue mail, that's pretty good.
Yeah, like that's the comfort zone for a lot of these runners.
Yep, absolutely. Also, I haven't shouted out yet, but I do want to shout out the fact that Roach has that pretty purple on his with the red mail. He must be using a hat color version of Link as well. I'm gonna grab a small key to Ganon's Tower because it's on path. If you're not doing the basement, which we aren't, you don't actually need any Ganon's Tower small keys because you can steal the pot key in the basement. But that one's more on path than the pot key, so no surprise that you picked it up.
Yeah, the pot key is what, like 2 rooms and then a mirror back to the start?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've got something that's directly in your path, may as well grab it and skip that.
Also, we get a heart container on Landmo over on Roach's side, so he's suddenly getting healthier. Which means Azure will be at least on 8 hearts.
Yeah, this was a very health poor seed for the first 35 minutes where the runners had 7 hearts combined, but it's certainly looking better now.
And there's that pod small. So we are now in, like, I like to call it no mode, because of course this spoiler kind of makes it a go mode immediately. It's hard to really say because, like, the Azure and I have talked about this, the pilot knowing where everything is, but the actual runner, it's kind of hard. He's like, I don't know when you call it go mode because I don't know where everything is, but eventually I get to where I do because I've been told. You know?
Yeah, I just call it a boss rush mode, really.
Hey, that works for me.
Especially in Key Sanity, where you're not even having to check the chests in dungeons to pick up the keys along the way.
We call it Blitz mode, like those of you who watch Fred Coughlin. He likes to call it Blitz mode.
Another good name for it.
And here are the Armos Knights. Good start for the quick kill.
And
nicely
there
done.
were the Armos Knights.
Yep. And a potentially useless pod key. And a sword in Mire, so both runners likely to end up untempered.
Yeah, because Aster got his second sword in the Chain Chomp room of Turtle Rock, which Roach is going to have to walk right through.
Yeah, I mean, if there's another sword elsewhere on path, it's a nice room to avoid, but I don't think you skip that one unless there's another that is really nicely on path. I think we're gonna go to Swamp.
At this point, may as well, yeah. Like, it comes down to just the order you do things in, and
yeah.
Honestly, Tempered Sword would be nice against Argus to make for an easier phase 2, phase 1. Actually, easier phase 1.
Yeah, phase 1.
But can still do it relatively quickly with Master Sword. So it's just pick your preference there.
Mm-hmm. Always weird to see that chest unopened.
Always very nice to see the bonk turnaround dash, though, that we saw on Astra's side there. I so rarely see it. It doesn't really save maybe a handful of frames, but it's very, very nice, and it looks cool.
Also, love that anti-fairy when you have powder that Roach just got the fairy from. I think he might have even too. I will often powder it even if I don't need it. I would like to see him running through the eyeballs instead of doing... This is more like what you would do with Cape. With Cape, you can do this because the Cape will not drain magic when you're swinging your sword. But that's not the case with the blue cane. I think it's just a little bit faster to run through him, even with Master Sword. But he's going to get through. He's half magic, so it's not so bad.
I'm not convinced that it is faster with Master Sword, because he's getting hits on these eyes pretty quickly here. And meanwhile, with dashing, like, yeah, you're going through all of them at once, but then you've got to turn around and do the startup
fair
again.
enough. Another container on a boss.
Yeah.
In spoiler, that's really nice, you know?
Yeah, just put all the safeties right there where you cannot skip them even if you want to.
That's right.
Let's just play vanilla.
Yeah. Silvers. Yeah, okay, that's a reasonable detour for silvers.
Yeah, it's probably about the furthest out of the way a lot of runners would go for them, but it is not too far out of the way.
And what I like about the way Azur's routed this is now allow silvers for Vidi and Landmo when he does Mire and Desert.
Yeah, and I think that explains the choice of Swamp before Mire pretty well.
And it looks like Roach is going to head up over to Turtle Rock to get the stuff he needs there. He'll end up with Tempered Sword there, which will be nice for him when he comes back to Swamp. Because like you said, it's definitely an easier fight. As you're having trouble with this diver down, usually this is the faster strat to go on the left side like this. It's not the more used strat. It's also not the more versatile strat because it doesn't work if you're doing the left side.
Yeah, I think it's the strat used in the glitched all dungeon speedrun.
Yes, it is. Since it's a little bit faster, and you don't in that speedrun you don't actually need to get the big key. Because they do some shenanigans from other dungeons and use other dungeons as big key to get the hook shot. And then you can do the diver down there. So.
Right. Unfortunately, it doesn't really save time when you take 3 tries to get it. But
which is true of any any of these new. I say new, but really, like diver down and Icebreaker are getting close to, I guess it was like around February of 2020 that they were first discovered and first legalized around March. So we're more than a year and a half in on those and getting close to 2 years. They're not that old anymore. Harapot's like over 2 years now.
Yep, but considering how old this game is and how many long-standing tricks it has, they're still the relatively new ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Roach about to get his Master Sword. Yay! Not Master Sword, Tempered Sword.
Yep, first runner to that, although Asdur really only has Mire Desert left now, so going to be getting that in fairly short order himself in Mire.
Yep, and we'll see which one he chooses to do first. I think they both have container hearts, so that's not going to matter. Just a matter of whether he'd rather have that Tempered Sword in Desert, I think. And with this loadout, you don't really need it. You can do Fire Rod strats, or you could do Silvers on Landmo.
Looks like it is going to be Mire first for him, though. Also,
yeah, I feel like...
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, we saw Roach did not get all 4 Turtle Rock small keys. So did need to go kill that pokey.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say that the tempered sword I think is a little more likely with silvers for a Vidi. I would say the tempered sword is a little more useful for Landmo than it is for Vitreous. It's a small point. I don't think it. I think the difference between doing one first or the other is pretty minimal.
Yeah, I don't expect to see Aster pull out a sword against either boss.
No. He might do the sword spin into a fire rod shot, so that's about it for the Landmo fight, and that would be the extent of sword usage.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Which would be the sole reason to get the tempered first.
Yeah, I feel like that's more a strat that we see in Landmos too, though. Especially A, trying to conserve magic, and B, with the shooter in there.
Yep, that's not an uncommon strat there at all. Also, the fact that he only has 9 silvers. Okay, so he's only 9 arrows, so we may actually see some NMG strats here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice his arrow count until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I just thought of it, and it's like, ooh.
That's what fighting the Armos Knights without the silvers does for you.
It does, and, you know, we talked about this before. You're not routing in, you're skipping all the junk chests, and the junk chests having things like arrows and bombs, so it's pretty rare to go into any situation without full arrows. But yeah, it's gonna happen in this mode. There were a couple arrow pots he could have picked up. I'm guessing he didn't think about it, and I know he knows where the arrow pots are. I think that's an advantage a lot of the NMG runners have, but yeah, he's gonna have to make do with just what he has. Fortunately, he only needs 2 to finish Vitreous off, so he's gonna be able to use some of the arrows for some of the eyeballs if he wants to.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't miss, which you see even great runners do on account of that lag sometimes.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Also probably really happy. I see now he can switch to silvers and be just fine, because we'll use 4 on these little eyeballs, 2 on the big, and have 3 left.
3 is exactly enough to kill Landmolars, too.
Yeah, but he'll pick up some arrow. There's 1 arrow pot at least. He'll pick up some arrow pots, and I think maybe not use it for Landmo, because you want to make sure you have 4 for mimics.
Yeah, I'm expecting Fire Rod strats regardless of how many arrows he has, though.
Yeah, I am too. Roach gonna have a slightly easier Trinex fight though with that tempered sword. Also, the half magic helping as well.
Yep. Although Aster's was very well executed to the point where I think Roach's was actually a cycle slower on the head attacks.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he looked like he took a hit, but fortunately he finished off Trinex before it could kill him, so we're good.
Yep, all good there, and that's going to be his 3rd crystal.
And we're already back at Desert Palace.
And there's the Fire Rod, there's the Arrow Pot. But might actually switch back to silvers here just because used 3 Fire Rod shots. Which means unless he gets some splash damage in there, that's not enough magic to kill the Landmos.
Yep. We'll see what he does. He might still use the Fire Rod to save a menu.
With the spin, yeah.
As many of you know. Nicely done. Perfect.
Yep.
But as many of you know, Azure does not use Quick Swap. Is very, very good at menuing. Little sad. One of the things I don't like about Quick Swap is that the people that are good at menuing lose that advantage. Because Quick Swap kind of equalizes it a lot.
Yeah, like menuing is a skill, and it's kind of an interesting one that you can put a lot of time into learning.
Mm-hmm. And NMG runners, of course, more so than anyone else.
Yeah. But I think a lot of players just find Quick Swap to be more fun, which is why it caught on so much.
Yep. Now, of course, my biggest issue with Quick Swap has nothing to do with playing the game. It has everything to do with keeping us as commentators honest. Fortunately, we have a tracker here, iCure, doing the tracking. Shoutouts to iCure. The trackers, the MVPs of our tournament. Of course, it makes their job harder too to not have the menus show up, but they still do a great job without it.
Yeah, like when a runner does menu, being able to glance at that to confirm the tracker is very valuable. I do a fair bit of tracking myself, and I rely on that a fair bit. Less so now that quick swap is a thing, though.
All right, I almost forgot about Skullwoods. Fortunately, Azure and Aussie did not.
Yeah, there's a crystal back here. We kind of need it.
Yeah, I mean, we could go up to Ganon's Tower and just have nothing happen, which is... everybody, I think, has done that at least once. The old, I know where the 7th crystal is, therefore I have it, and you go up there, and yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, there was a race, actually, early this morning where that very thing occurred. Good news for that runner is that their 7th crystal was Hera, so they just had to mirror.
Oh, that's good. And here's Mothula.
Those poke dashes are a great way to damage Mothula if you can get close enough there.
Yeah, that was a nice moth fight, especially with him trying to hang out on those upper spikes, which definitely makes it harder to deal with the boss. For those of you that may have seen the previous race between these two teams, when Aussie had an absolutely beautiful hammer moth, and it was probably even a little bit faster than this one.
Yep. Now we do have 7 crystals there for Asger. Going to be headed up to the tower. Roach actually picking up his 4th at the same time off Moleworm there.
Okay, people asking in chat. I don't, asking about the Hera Big Key. Did anyone pick that? I didn't think anyone picked that up, so.
No, we didn't, but we've got both one of the pilots and our tracker in chat confirming it was bow-locked in pod from their reading of the spoiler log.
Okay. Getting ahead of it, I was going to look it up, but looking up big keys is a kind of a pain. Curious where that last sword is, though.
It may be upstairs Ganon's tower, and we might see Asger grab it, even though it doesn't really do much for anybody at that point.
Yeah, you need to actually go into the Dark World.
Yeah, he got dead rocked, so he was trying to respawn it.
There we go. Yeah, that is a good way to deal with those dead rocks. Like you're telling us, we're not getting that last sword. Yeah, I just looked it up. It's on Bumper Ledge. We're not getting that last sword. Where's Cape?
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in now, because Bumper Ledge itself is not a bad location to get to, especially with Asger doing Skullwoods last and Roach having not done it yet.
Yep.
So
it is. I don't think we're going to see it. It's on Bob's torch. That is
actually, yeah. Asger has a small key, so he won't see it.
Nope. And definitely, yeah, you're definitely not going to grab a cape in Ganon's Tower in a 7/7 seed and walk back to Bumper Cave. There are situations in non-7/7 or like all dungeons where maybe you do that, but that's not what we're playing here.
Like, unless your goal is to get all the items, all 216 locations, really. Oof. Especially considering the item there is a gold sword.
Yeah, gold sword is nice. It can speed things up, but that's way too far out of the way. Heck, that might even be way too far out of the way if that was one of your tempered sword and the other tempered was in a bad enough spot.
Yeah, actually, I think I agree with that. Because ultimately, gold sword, when you're getting it like in Ganon's Tower after your 7th crystal, doesn't actually really save you any time, especially with runners at this level. It just it makes the first 2 cycles of Ganon free and easy.
Yes,
but not faster.
Yeah, not faster if you do it right with tempered. The bigger time save, of course, is Trinex and Cold Stare, which you've already done or not done, as the case is here, since Cold Stare just hides pendant.
Yep. Gold Sword does the same damage to Cold Stare as a Fire Rod does, which is pretty nice.
Yep.
Actually, Landmola's has the same quirk.
Yeah.
Roach, unfortunately, a little too far right to get the Armos quick kill there, but still downs the Knights, no problem. And just has to do Swamp and Skull Woods to round out his crystal collection.
Yeah, so his arrow situation, he doesn't really have to worry. I assume he'll pick up the silvers and won't need a whole lot of arrows going up Cannon's Tower. So.
Yeah, he doesn't need more than one arrow until he gets to the tower, that being for Phase 2 Argus, and that's optional.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Aster just kind of tore through the gauntlet there. Supposed to be the hardest combat rooms in the game, and for the most part they are, but speedrunners make them look really easy.
A lot of times you can tell the good NMG runners, because the gauntlet is just, that's one of the places that they'll just gain time. Gonna have to lamp this last one, because he missed that one fire rod shot. I might have fire rodded the one on the right and taken the lamp to the one on the left, because I hate using a lamp on that one on the right.
Yeah, it's super finicky, because you gotta be right on the edge of that tile to get it.
Oh, we're gonna see the fake powder. Let's go.
There it is.
There it is. Well done.
Having a hell of a time there trying to hit that switch and not get stuck.
Yeah, if you land on two tiles like that, kind of kitty corner like that, if you can't hit the switch, you can actually get soft locked there. That's not going to happen in that specific location, but there are. I've had that happen to me in Hera, which is really bad.
Yeah, Hera is probably the main place that happens, and it is very frustrating because, hey, you completed your tile room wait, but you can't get off the pegs to actually get your prize.
Yep. And here's Aga 2. Well, that looks like a nice setup there. Yeah, pretty much a guaranteed double. That would have been a heart triple, I think. It might have been a triple if it wasn't for the blue balls. It ended up being none. I hate when that happens. Aga, stop with the blue balls.
Blue balls just denying him 2 cycles in a row.
I know, it's just terrible. Like these good patterns that the blue balls just ruin. Gets a double there, though, and finishes it off.
Okay, so that one on the previous cycle must have counted as a double. Didn't quite look like it to me, but...
You can't always tell, Sometimes I've gotten fooled both ways.
Yep. And now Roach has his 6th crystal as Aster's about to drop into his Ganon fight here.
Just Swamp Palace to go for Roach.
Presumably going to grab his silver arrows and then just zoom through the rest of the dungeon.
Nice start. Except getting hit by the trident is not exactly in the plan.
No, but making good use of that torch's position to keep from getting off too far away from Ganon, and gets the 1 cycle anyways.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Oh, so yeah, chat pointing out, it took Aster 34 minutes to get his first crystal. It took him 28 more to drop into the Ganon fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's spoiler, and that just shows how good a player in terms of execution he is.
And also a testament to just what kind of seed this was.
Yeah. Yeah, and Aussie doing a very nice job routing it. And look, James routing Roach. Like I said at the beginning, this was a tough matchup for them, since this is the most execution-heavy mode of the season. So this is just a really tough matchup for them. I think they're doing a really good job, though.
Yeah, definitely. Like the routes have been wildly different throughout the seed, but I did like the route that James and Roach put
I do.
together
I think
here.
it was a good route. The biggest issue, of course, not being able to get that sword, but that's such a hard room to deal with. Yeah. So Azure finishing up with an official race time of 1:03:36. Looks like Roach is not going to go ahead and finish it. I don't blame him. I mean, he's done a nice job. He's on track to finish if he wants to. But sometimes you just want to be done.
Yep, and we'll see if we can get them in here if they're willing to talk about it a bit, or.
Okay, let me. Yeah, let's see if we can we'll get the pilots in as well. Should be able to get Aussie if you can get James. I don't know that I have easy access to James. Maybe in the league channel. Okay, well, as we're waiting for that, we'll take a look at the schedule. Looks like we have Aussie in the waiting room. Aussie, GG.
Hey, GG.
Nicely routed. What did you think of that one?
This one was in. Our opener, it kind of worked out. Just happened to. Though we were late to Boots, was it? But we happened to see the desert early.
Yeah, we do have James in here with us as well. The GGs.
Like we get
I've not done a ton of the key sanity spoilers, and I was looking for weapons for Roach at the start of the seed, and just literal nothing.
Yeah, that first sword was such a tough spot, and I know Roach gave up on it, which is, I mean, I don't blame him. That's a terrible room. He didn't have anything to do it with other than bombs, so.
Yeah. We gave it one shot, and I'm like, we don't need the sword. We can come back to it. Let's go get what we need out of pod. We need a bottle. And Burna's not too far out of the way. And then I realized, no, we actually do need the sword because you need to get into Ice Palace and get Samaria and Fire Rod before they really do anything. So.
Yep. Yeah, that Ice Palace, like, if this had been a non-spoiler, I mean, who's not last locationing that?
Yeah, the start of the seed really, it's just a little too fast. I should have had Roach buy the Ice Palace small key, just because at Bottle Vendor.
Yeah.
And
because he had the money right away for the Houlihan.
Yeah, because we did Houlihan start. Just give me some time to get through and look at things, but gonna be hard to beat a team like you guys in any sort of spoiler situation, but especially with some of the things that are required in this seed.
Yeah, like weapons are really hard to get in this seed, and I can rely on Azure to just make his way through with whatever he has.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of on the surprise net. I guess the bug net was the was PED. So
I do think though that the route that you put up, the performance you did, was quite respectable, all things considered. Just really rough seed, really rough competition for you and Roach there. But that does mean moving on to Shaktool's taking game 15 points. Let me check what the standings look like.
yeah, it's pretty crowded at the top of the division too. And it was a tie amazingly a tie in a spoiler. I wish I had seen that. I might have to go search out the VOD for that, to be honest.
I mean, between those two teams, it's not that surprising.
It's good teams, yeah.
Yeah, and kind of unfortunate how some of these matchups are lined up the next couple weeks with you guys this week in Spoiler, and then Gamachu's team and Cross Keys next week is going to be another rough one, but can't really look at that as an excuse. We'll try and get something going.
Weird things can happen in Cross Keys.
Yep, just got to put it forward, do what you can. It looks like there's 2 teams at 3 points and another one at 4 points, so good opportunity for you guys to sneak past them if you can string together a win or two. And at the top,
we still got a full week of matchups with Wildpalace Drive-Thru at the end of the season. They've already played all the top teams, and we have both Skull Kids and Mogliacci in the next 2 weeks. So, but we'll see what happens.
Aussie, how you feeling about moving forward? I know you're not doing Cross Keys, but you'll be doing Open. And are you doing the last week? I forget.
Yeah, I'll be doing the 2 weeks after. It's not Cross Keys.
Yeah, I know Cross Keys is not your thing, but I know you like the crazy, some of the more crazy modes for playoffs, so it works out well.
Yep. So I get to look forward to that.
All right. Anything else either of you want to add before we start closing this out?
No. Thanks for the restream. Thanks for packing, and hopefully we can put in a better performance next week.
All right, good luck.
I'll say that Pilot Key Sanity was really fun mode, and I'm glad I got to do it as part of League here.
Now that you've done for a couple of years, and now that you've done the piloting and the running, do you prefer? I think you prefer the running, or do you prefer the piloting?
In this mode, I prefer piloting, where it's instant start and keys. So I like how that goes. Nice. But then, like the running part's also fun because it's also a test of execution. So it's pretty cool.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for us. There is one more spoiler log race this week. That'll be at 7:30 p.m. over on SpeedGaming 5. That'll be Boomer Friendly versus Swirly Coin Brewing, Scrub Casual versus JJo. And then looks like we already have a match on the schedule for tomorrow. I'll go through that one. Next week is Cross Keys, and this one will be New Swagga Jackson versus Mogliacci, Wall Kicks versus Jewel Ninja. And Jewel Ninja's a good runner, but Wall Kicks came in second in the most recent Cross Keys and first in the similar mode of the latter Retrance mode. So I'll be interested to see how he does in this one, or if he's just, if he's rusty from a few weeks ago, or if he's gonna just run roughshod all over Cross Keys. But Jewel Ninja has something to say about that, so I think that's a really interesting match.
Yeah, like Cross Keys, I'm gonna be blunt, I'm not the biggest fan of the mode, but I do understand it is popular for a reason, and I do think that this is very, very good matchup.
All right, so that'll pretty much do it for us. I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you, Reg, for joining me. I think you did the earlier match today, so doing double duty. Big shout outs to you for covering that. And of course, Ike here, our tracker, our MVP, and of course all of you watching on SpeedGaming. And Reg, if you want to finish this off.
Yeah, it was very good race. I mean, obviously things didn't quite turn out the way that the Immortals were kind of thinking it would go, but tough matchup. Good performance from them. Obviously very good performance from Asder in what turned out to be kind of a silly seed overall. Like the health situation, the way the items were laid out, but had fun watching, had fun calling it with you. And yeah, shout outs to the runners, shout outs to Iker, and we'll see you guys some other race.